The U.S. Secret Service is warning of an increase in credit card skimmers at gas stations across the country and in our area. The Blount County Sheriff's Office found a device meant to steal credit and debit card numbers at a gas station just yesterday. That discovery sparked lots of questions from you about how to protect your cards at the gas pump. 10 News reporter Cole Sullivan joins us with answers from law enforcement officers. Cole?
John, we asked the Blount County Sheriff's Office where they found that skimmer yesterday. They wouldn't tell us because they say it's an ongoing investigation. But the U.S. Secret Service and Knoxville police are warning that gas pump skimmers are becoming a bigger and bigger problem across East Tennessee.
When you go to fill up your tank, you're usually focused on this. But investigators with KPD and the Secret Service say to pay closer attention before the fuel starts flowing.
This year alone, we've had at least 6. That's we know of, that's been discovered.
Richard Giamarino investigates financial crimes for the Knoxville Police Department.
Swindles, schemes.
And skimmers. For gas station pumps, there are 2 main types. First, the kind that thieves stick on the outside credit card slot.
This device will, again, steal your information when you dip your credit card or debit card into it.
They're sometimes used on ATMs, but more and more often, they're being found on gas pumps.
Typically, they're planted at interstate off-ramps where there's a high volume of customers.
Sometimes a strong tug will pull those external devices loose, but the other type of gas station skimmers are harder to spot. They fit inside the pump. They steal your credit card information while the transaction is being approved.
These devices can be wireless, meaning that the culprits are nearby on a laptop computer recovering your information from that debit card transaction.
It looks like a bundle of cords, but it can cost you.
I don't use a debit card at a gas pump. I'll use a credit card or cash, but I won't use a debit card.
And there's only one real way to avoid those internal skimmers.
The only thing you can look for is the state seal on that pump, the inspection seal. If it's broken or cut, I wouldn't use the pump.
The Secret Service wants gas stations to upgrade, so they're using the new credit card chip technology. The deadline is 2020 for that to be in place. But for now, agents say to be wary, and if you see something suspicious, alert the gas station attendant or call police. John?
Cole, thank you.